Welcome to DAG Excel video number 6. Today I'm looking at Excel beginner text manipulations. As a beginner, you'll find a lot of text in instances where you have in excess of 10,000, 20,000, 100,000 rows of information, and you don't always have to type if you're asked to say separate these names in column A into the first name in column B, second name in column C. There's a big temptation to want to start typing Douglas in column B, Zulu. There's an easier way to handle that in Excel. So what you could do, first of all, is you could highlight that or highlight the whole column, come to data, and in the data tools, come to text to columns. When you say text to columns, Excel will ask you, is it delimited or is it fixed width? If it's fixed width, it means that it's the same width, you're counting the same number of characters, but as you can see, we have a variable number of characters in each cell. So we're going to say delimited because there's a delimiter, which in this case is a separator, something that separates the text. So my data type is delimited. When you click on next, it will ask you, what delimiter are you using? Is it a tab, semicolon, comma, space, or other? I'm not using the tab, I'm using the space. I want to separate by that space, and you see from the example below there, it gives you a preview how it is going to separate by space. If I click on next, it will ask me the data type I want to use. Here it can be general. If you are using date, you can give it a date, the way that the date will be formatted, or whatever text that you'd like to apply, but I'll stick with general and I'll click on finish. And just like that, it will separate Douglas, middle name, last name. That's how you can quickly separate text. After having looked at text separators, let me also delve into talking about what kind of functions that relate to text that you can utilize. Excel comes with a whole host of an army of formulas that can help you manipulate text. Today I'll also look at find, len, left, mid, right, and trim functions. When you observe my data set, it looks quite okay. You'll probably come across data sets like this. My previous data sets had more names. I had Spoochie Logan. Maybe I could also just add it at the bottom there. Spoochie Logan. Control Enter. So now let me start with find. Now find in Excel, you start with equal sign when you're typing a formula and type in find. There's a find formula. What this one does is it returns the starting position of one text string within another text string. So I can find any text string within a text string. And find is case sensitive. So if you ask it to find a letter D, for example, in here, it will find D. So if there's another D appearing in the same cell, though the second D is a small letter, it will only find the capital letter. The alternative to find that is not case sensitive is search. So you can type in search, and this returns the number of character at which a specific character or text string is first found. Reading from left to right, this is not case sensitive. So I'll use search first so that we can see how it works. Now search has different arguments that it wants before it can do its job. So it asks you to find the text you're looking for. So now in my case, I want to look for the space here. So that I just show you how to find certain items. You can choose anything, a letter, but because all these names have spaces somewhere there, I'll tell it find the space. But to tell Excel that you're looking for a space, you have to put it in double inverted commas. So I'll put open double inverted commas, space, close double inverted commas. That's the text I'm looking for. So I'm putting the space in between inverted commas to tell Excel I'm looking for a space. Comma. Within what text? I'm looking for the space in the text one cell to my left. And what's my starting position? I can start from 1, from 2, from 3. I just need to give it a starting position. It's got square brackets, meaning it's not a required argument. If you don't put it there, it will use the default. If I ignore that and say Control Enter, it gives me 8. This tells me that it searched through this cell, and in the 8th position it found a space. So counting from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In the 8th position there's a space. There's also another space before Z, so you see a double space, but it picks the very first one. So the starting position of the first thing it finds. If you want to find the second space, 8 should be the starting position of another search, so you can actually nest one search inside another search. But we can leave that for a bit of practice, and later examples I'll show you how you can achieve that. So if I double click and send that down, in the next space here it found the space in the very first position of this character. If you double click there and check, you actually see that you have two spaces before M, so it found the very first one. Escape, here it found the first space in the 8th position, as well as this one, but here it found it in the 9th position. So that's what find does. We can actually alter this and use find, which works quite the same, but is just case sensitive. But because a space has no case, it will still find the same space. So in double inverted commas, I put my space. That's the text I want to find within that text. If I close bracket here, because the square brackets tell me that it's not a required position, but if I wanted, I can start from position number 1, which is fine. If I close brackets, Control Enter, it still gives me the same answer. Come to the angry rabbit there, double click and send it down, it finds the same answers. So you'll notice in this situation, find and search are behaving the same way. There's also another function called len. The len tells you the length of what's in the cell. So if I say equals len tab of that text, it will calculate for me the length of what is there. So it has 13 characters. And if I drag that to the bottom, it will tell me the number of characters in that cell. If I come to the left will pick from the left whatever number of characters I want to give it. So I can pick 8, 1, 4 according to what I found there, where I found the space, to show you just how it works. So I'll say equals left. So I'll be picking the left of that text, comma, number of characters, find where I found the space. So what I expect to see here is it will find from the left 8 characters. If I click that all the way down, it will be finding, it found the first from the left only 1 character, and that's how it gave me only the space. So there's a space in here, it's not empty. If I come to mid, it gives you what's in the middle. It works much like left equals mid. And if I say from the middle of this text, starting from position number 8, comma, give me 3 characters. So it will pick 3 characters after the space. Control Enter, Z. This is 3 characters after the first space. If I click or drag that down, it picks the first 3 characters from the left. It does the same with the right. It picks characters from the right of that text, comma, from the right, maybe I want to pick 2. It will only pick 2 characters from the right of my text. Now trim is like the weight loss function, so I call it equals trim. What trim does, it actually shaves off excess space and leaves only the amount of space for a proper sentence case. So it removes the extra spaces in my text. If you like this video, hit like in the bottom, click on the subscribe button so you can see subsequent videos as I produce them. Thank you for watching.